Do you own a 25-year-old can of Pokemon pasta? I did. I owned 5 of them, and I can tell you from experience, you're going to need to do something to keep them from rotting from the inside out. So you need to get a few things. Get your can, of course, and let's see. You're going to need some gloves, like basically not latex gloves. You need vinyl or nitrile gloves. Latex is bad for your skin. You need a sharp knife. You're not going to rush. You're not going to use this to cut anything. You're going to use it more to separate the label when the glue. When you loosen the glue later. So yeah, but sharp is just to help you get that blade in there gently. But you don't want to damage your label or anything like that. And next up, what do you need? Yeah, you're going to need some cotton swabs or Q-tips, or as they call them, cotton buds in the UK. That's pretty simple. You're going to want to do this outside too, by the way, because when you open that can, who knows what's going to be inside. I'll show you it towards the end. And you'll need some enamel thinner. I got this from a hobby shop. There's Tamiya thinner, or Mr. Hobby thinner is good too, but don't use acrylic thinner. That'll soak into the paper and damage it. But enamel thinner, it evaporates and it doesn't linger on the label, on the paper, or anything like that. But it will help loosen the glue, and that's what you want to do. So make sure make sure you know what you're getting when you buy it. And you want something in a warm container of soapy water to wash your can out when it's empty and you've got the label off. So it's important to protect the label. You don't want to expose it. You don't want to wear it or rub it down or anything like that. The sides of the can have those little rings that if the label gets rubbed against them, it'll kind of show through the paper, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to start here with a Q-tip and a cotton swab and some of this enamel thinner, and I'm going to apply it around. I'm going to find the seam of the label because I just want to loosen the glue. You don't want to rub the label. You just want to dab the enamel thinner onto it because it soaks through the paper, and you just want it to get to the glue. So even though it looks like I'm rubbing, I'm not. Just kind of dab gently, dab a bit here, a bit there. And you want to get it to kind of soak in behind the label too. That's most important. And it's a gradual. That's probably what the longest step of this whole process is applying this thinner to get it to loosen the glue. When it loosens, you'll feel that it kind of it's like melting butter. You see that white spot there? That's a leak in the can, and we'll see more of these leaks when I get the label off. But yeah, that's 25-year-old tomato sauce oozing there and getting hairy from mold. So, even handling your can, you don't want to be doing that. So, I assure you, each one of these cans, there's no way to basically prevent this from happening. That sauce is gonna rot through the can and cause little tiny pinholes of rust. And I'll show you towards the end of the video what that looks like from the inside. But you can salvage the can, and you want to protect the label and all that, and you can have a presentable can at the end that looks like looks like it did in 1999, like when I bought these. So I'm still just gradually. Sorry if I'm. Reminder: don't cut anything. You're just using the blade to test the glue and to try and just gently see if the label will pry open yet. But you don't apply any pressure. You're just probing and testing. So yeah, don't cut through the glue. Don't cut through the paper. You're not using the blade for cutting reasons. You're just using the blade because because it's thin. And see how it's just starting to sink in there just slightly. There we go. See. Now if I was rushing this, I would be cutting that label, and that's not what I want to do. So I'm just and I'm kind of twisting the blade to help part the label apart there. I'm going to speed this up here. So yeah, it's not a very exciting process here, but not to watch. But when you're doing this and you don't want to mess up your can of your 25-year-old can of Pokemon pasta, you think this is a pretty big moment. You want to be careful. Now you see how that's lifting there, and that's not from cutting. Again, that's just probing with the blade, and that label just starts to loosen up, and it feels, like I say, it feels like butter when it's starting to sort of relax that glue. Now we're just about, I say this is about halfway through coming off. And towards the bottom there, that glue feels a little thicker. You can see some of the glue on the can, that little yellow, tint on the metal is glue. And but you don't want to wash all the glue off either, because you can soften the glue again to reapply the label later. So yeah. So you see that blade? That's just going through nicely. There it goes. And yeah, one of the great things about enamel thinner is even when you soak through the paper and everything, it evaporates and it doesn't leave a trace behind. So yeah, make sure you get the right thinner again. I'll remind you again. And I'm rolling the Q-tip here. I'm not pressing. I'm not pressing. I'm not rubbing. I'm rolling the Q-tip so it minimizes all the friction. And I'm doing that just kind of empty a little more of that, squeeze a little more of that enamel thinner in behind the label there. And it's gently coming off. It's going really well here. So yeah. Yeah, so if you've got a can of this stuff, be sure to look it over really closely. Look for any of those telltale white spots around the seams of the can. Usually around the lip of the can on the top and the bottom, but also these tiny little pinholes that will appear, or if you hear the can hissing when you handle it, that's a bad sign. One of mine did. Yeah, we can stop that process by getting rid of the food contents inside, because the tomato sauce acids will eventually get through that can. So this label's almost off, and I'm just twisting the knife here. Just there we go. Pop. It's coming off. So there's one side of glue, and then sorry, do this up. I'm standing off the side of the camera here. So the back of the label is still attached to the can, so I've just got to get that last bit off, because the label wraps around and attaches to itself. So there's some of that glue, and you can see how the paper is soaked a bit with that thinner from the back. And the label's really clean. Sometimes that the leaks can get through and stain the label, so it's another good reason to hurry up and make sure your cans don't have any of this toxic 25-year-old food product festering inside. All right, so I'm just gently peeling, like just I'm just feeling the glue relax and let go, and it's almost off. I'm not applying any pressure. It's just kind of just the bare minimum of lifting it there, and there we go. See, so there's some glue still in the can there, and you see those white dots all along the seam, along that vertical seam. That's sauce leaking through, and that's it there too. So yeah, bad stuff. So those are leaks, and that fuzz on the bottom of that bottom lip, that's food coming out. So you don't want that on your shelf, do you? Now, I got a really nice can opener here, or just a nice clean can opener. I want to make a clean cut so that you don't get a jagged, you don't want little splinters of that lid left behind or anything. So just that lid comes off, and we separate it, and let's see what's inside. It doesn't look too bad, does it? Well, that sauce is still leaking through, and you want to get rid of that. I'm sorry, you can't keep the Pokemon pasta. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's up to you. That's at your own risk if you wanted to find some other storage solution. So yeah, here's the contents of the first can I emptied. Isn't that beautiful? That's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, and you know what? When I wasn't looking, my dog came and ate part of that. So make sure your pets stay away from there. Yeah, there we go. See. And can number 2. Oh, here. Now look at that. You see that color? See that black gray color? That's that ain't good. That's from air and bacteria from the outside getting in and contaminating that pasta. So yeah, here, this stuff. If you can find some of this, it's called Absorine, and it's good for wiping off. It looks like Play-Doh. It smells like Play-Doh. It leaves little crumbs behind there, so you got to gently brush those off of the label if you're going to clean it. Do that when the label is removed from the can. Don't do it on the can, because then you'll press it against the rings of the sides of the can. Here's the inside of the can. This is the best can I had as far as condition. You see those little pinholes? That's where the rest of it ate through. And here's what happens when I point this can at a light inside. Here we go. It's beautiful. Here it comes. See all that? Those were all holes in my can. That was the best can that I had out of 5. Every can of this product is going to have that food in there. That sauce is going to eat through. So you'll want to make sure that if you're keeping your can, if you want to protect it, you have to do this. You have to perform surgery and get that stuff out of there. If you want to preserve your can and the label, you can do it. I know you can.